everyone, my name is Heidi and I'm coming to you from sunny Florida where I live with my significant other / partner Bill, and today is October 26th and episode 43. I want to give a warm welcome to any new viewers and returning viewers for coming back. Welcome, and if you like what you see, I'd like it if you give it a thumbs up. And also think about subscribing so we could chat in the future. Today, it is a cloudy day as of now. The sun is going to come out and it's starting to get a little cooler here in Florida. It was in the 90s. Now it's coming down to the 80s, so that's a good thing. If you'd like to find me other than YouTube, I'm also on Instagram and Ravelry as Yarned Heidi. Today, I will be talking about knitting and some cross-stitching. And anything I do talk about will be linked down below in the description box. And if you'd like to make a comment about anything or ask me anything, I'd love to chat with you and tell you anything you want to hear. So today I have a lot. I have 5 finished objects. And wait, is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5. 5 finished objects and not a lot of whips. A lot of my whips are, which is works in progress, are a lot of long-term projects. So I work on them when I can, and then there's a couple of more, but I can finally start some new things, and I'm debating on what to start. But we'll get into that in a couple of minutes. So let's move on to finished objects. Okay, here we are. The first one, I am proud to be wearing it. This is a project that I've wanted to do with a special yarn that I got from the Love and Stitches membership. It was made specifically for the group, and because it was made for the group, I didn't just want to give it away. I wanted it to mean something to me. And I've made this cowl before, like 10 years ago, and I loved it. And I've gotten so many compliments on this particular cowl. So it is called the Jeweled Cowl. Let me see if I could say her name. I'm sorry, I'll probably put it up later. It's by Sachiko Umura. And it is a beautiful lacy cowl. You can't see, but there's beautiful beads in here. When the camera doesn't do it any justice. I've tried so many times to get these beads to show up, but in real life, they are prominent. A lovely bead. And then it's just this one little section, and the rest is just knit, knit, knit. So it takes longer because putting on the beads is a process, but it's so worth it. I'm going to take it off because 1, it's very hot in here. And 2, I want to show you how big it is. So this is, I'm not going to give this to anybody, but when I go up north, it's definitely going to come with me. So it's a pretty big cowl, and you still can't see all these beautiful beads in there. So this one section, believe it or not, it only requires 14 beads on each time, every other row that you place them on. And the rest is just knit, knit, knit. Okay, so the particulars are, the yarn is by Little Wolf Knits, and the colorway is Love and Speckles, made specifically for my membership by Natalie from Knitting Natty. It's called Love and Stitches, and this colorway is Love and Speckles, made specifically for the group. So the size needle, I think I used a size 8, yes, 8, and the bead side is an 8, which is a small bead. This pattern probably could have gotten away with a little bit bigger bead, like a size 6, because in the beading world, the higher the number the bead is, the smaller the hole, the smaller the bead. So because the pattern normally calls for a lace weight, which I've done before, but I didn't have any and I wanted to do this pattern. So I used a fingering weight, which would have, which could have gone with a higher bead. So what else can I tell you about this? Nothing. I loved making it. It took me a while because the lacing does take some time. So it is a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. I always get compliments on it. It goes with anything. I highly recommend it, and I'll link down the information below if you're interested. And it's a free pattern. So, and that's it. To put on the beads, normally I would use a tool called the beetle needle where you could load up all the beads, and as you need to put one on, there's a little tiny crochet hook at the end of the beetle needle, and you would just put it on with that. But with this yarn being woolly that it is, it kept catching, the little tiny crochet hook kept catching onto the wool, and it was being like difficult to work with. So what we did is, because it was suggested to use like a super floss, which is for your teeth, but they have like a little loop on the end, a little, it's kind of coarse at the edge of it, and you could pick up the needles that way, and you could place your needles with this floss. Anyway, there's plenty of YouTube videos on it, and it worked better that way. It took longer than using a beetle needle, but it was so worth it. I didn't have to pull on that wool, and it wouldn't split. So yeah, so this is one of my favorite cowls to make, and when I go up for the holidays up north where it's cold, I am definitely wearing this. It's too hot here around my neck, so you'll just have to wait till then. Okay, the next one is a dishcloth from the kitchen sink shop. Every month, she puts out a free pattern. If you subscribe to her newsletter, it's by the kitchen sink shop. And along with the pattern is also a recipe, because the theme of it this year is sweet treats that she has enjoyed throughout the years. And she has now made patterns based on it with dishcloths. And also you get a free recipe. So sign up for her newsletter. The first of the month, you'll get a new pattern for the whole year. After a few months, well, after like a month or so, she'll put it on Ravelry for free. But then the following year, no longer free. So you might want to jump on that bandwagon and get some. So this is the one for October. It's called the Pumpkin Spice Dishcloth. A lot of fun to make. Excuse me. I used yarn in my stash from Knit Picks. They're dishy. I like their cotton. And the pattern is recommended size 3. I went up to a 5 because the 3 was just too small. I was having too small of a dishcloth. And I am not sure of the colors because it was in my stash and I no longer have the band. But as you can see, orange and white. So anyway, this is a very easy pattern. 1, 2, 3, in a couple of hours, you have a dishcloth. So this is my 10th one of the year. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on doing these every month next year. I like doing it, but I don't like the pressure. Oh, I got to get the dishcloth done. Even though you really don't have to. There's no pressure with that. But I wanted to keep up with it, and then I put the pressure on myself. So next year, maybe 1 month I'll do them. Maybe I won't, because I really have like over 10, because I've done some this year, this is the 10th month, and I have some from last year. I try to gift them, but I also have other things I gift away. So I don't know. Next year, we'll see what it brings. If I feel like doing it, right, with a ruler of our own yarny knitting crochet world, I could do what I want with it. It doesn't matter. So that's another finish. Okay, the next one I have, oh, I just love these. I think you guys will love it too. So, and this could be a gift away, but I'm not sure I want to gift them because I love them so much. Okay, they are these coasters. Oop, this is the wrong side. Again, the wrong side. These coasters, and they're called Boo, as you can see why. And I saw on my Instagram, the king and queen of enabling is Instagram. And I saw Heidi and Lana, who is the designer of this. Her name is Margaret, but the brand is Heidi and Lana. And I saw them, I was like, I gotta have them. They're coasters. And I could have used any yarn, but she had a bundle set to go with it. So again, enabled by it. So the coaster is by Heidi and Lana, and the pattern is called Boo. And the yarn is her yarn, Heidi and Lana, and the base is Homestead DK, so it's a DK weight. And it's 100% merino, and the colorways are persimmon, which is the orange, the gray is Felix, the white is Farmhouse, and with the purple one, it's Plum. So the size that I used, let's see, the size that I used was a size 5. And it was an interesting way to make a coast, I guess, with this color work in there. I never did anything like this. I won't tell you too much about it because it is a paid pattern, but it's so worth it. But I never did this kind of a pattern where you put the yarn in front, put the yarn in back at certain times. And it was kind of fun. It was really fun. And it didn't take me long. Once I got the hang of it, because I've made 4 of them now, it's in a couple of hours I have a coaster. So check it out. Is there anything else I need to tell you about that? No, that's it. So these are the Boo pattern coasters by Heidi and Lana. Okay, the next one is, which I'm thrilled about. I really went full force in the Halloween theme this year. I usually do 1 thing, maybe 2, but I get so crazy because there's so many cute things for Halloween. I can't control myself. I mean, I don't go trick-or-treating. I don't even have trick-or-treaters that come to my house. But I love the vibe of it, the fun of it. I can't help it. And the cuteness of it. Ghosts and pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and witches. So cute. So anyway, I digressed. The next one is, again, enabled. These socks that I made, and they're called Mischievous Pumpkins. And they are so adorable. Again, color work. And I'll tell you a little bit about these socks because it doesn't always go well with me, even though they are the cutest things ever. And I'll tell you in a few minutes. So this is the Mischievous Pumpkin by Chimpy and the Woolies. That's who designed it. The yarn is from Daisy Stitch Company. And she had a Mischievous Pumpkin sock set. That's what it was called. But the colors inside that set were Black Cat, Mystic, Midnight, Witch's Brew, and is that it? I don't know. Pumpkin is the orange. So what I did with this, I mean, it is a paid pattern, but I'll just tell you, the only thing I changed really was the ribbing, which is, I did a 1x1 broken rib. So she just does a regular ribbing in her pattern. And the color work. Then I did for the colorway, I did 2 repeats of the colors, like orange, plum, green. Then I started for the heel. No, I didn't do the heel, excuse me. I did an afterthought heel. Then I went for the foot part. I did like 6 repeats of the colors, which is so good because you don't have to count. And that makes it easier for the second sock. I just do the same old thing and you get a perfect match. You don't have to count because you just know how many repeats you did. Then I did a rounded toe, which was as per pattern, and I did an afterthought heel. So, and the size needle I used was a size 1 for the cuff and the body of the whole foot, the leg and the everything except for the color work. I go up 2 sizes because I am a very tight knitter with color work. So I went to size 3. But you live and learn again. I'm constantly learning, which I'm happy about, but too bad I don't think ahead of time to know that things aren't going to work out. So let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you before I go on to my little bit of a problem. I love them. They are absolutely the cutest, and I love the colorway. And also, by the way, I had to switch colors every 2 rounds. I did 2 rounds of each color. And the main color is this gray, blackish. They call it midnight. But to me, or not midnight, they call it black cats. But it really looks like gray to me. So I did that. So 2 rows of each. So then when I'm done, I try it on and it does not go over my heel. I know I have the big instep. Even with going on to the size 3 for the color work, it is so snug on there. I'm going to give it away to somebody else because I cannot wear them. I made it a size small because normally I am a size small. And I'm learning through this process, and I've been knitting socks for a long time, and I'm still trying to perfect it. I did a afterthought heel, and I really don't think that's the problem. Even though slip stitch and gusset is my best fitting heel, but I wanted to do an afterthought. I did not want to split up the stripes, and I mean I could have just put in a the different color for the heel for the gusset, but for stripes for the heel, but for striped socks I wanted the afterthought heel. The problem is I should have made a bigger size sock, knowing that my color work is always super tight. So I should have gone to the next size, and I should have, done the 1 and the 3, and maybe that would have been better. Tell me what you think. I mean, I know for the heel, I could have done, before I done the decreases, 2 knit rounds and then the decrease. I could have done that, but I really don't think that's the problem with this. The problem is this color work is still too tight. Give me your opinions. Comment below about what I should do. I don't know. Normally I'm a size small with 56 stitches, and I just have to increase my rows with the heel flap for my heel for that big instep. But it's the color work. I don't know. Anyway, I'll give this to somebody, maybe like a tween. Maybe for the girls that I watch. They have smaller feet, but let me tell you, one of them, she's only a couple of sizes smaller than me. Maybe I can give them to her. I don't know. Anybody have a super small foot? I'll give it to you. So anyway, I'd appreciate any input about my color work rows. This is not the first time this has happened. I made another pair, same thing, too tight. And but that mistake was I only went up 1 size. But this time I went up 2 sizes for the color work, and it still is snug. You live and learn. Again, this being a knitter, and for how long I've been doing it, I don't know, 13, 14 years, I'm still learning. And I'm glad I'm still learning because I want to be better and better each day. So that's it for my debacle on the socks. I love them, but I can't wear them. I can't even squeeze them on. What a shame. All right. The next one is a cross stitch project. And this one I saw from a floss tuber. And it is my Fair Isle, what's it called here? The Fair Isle, I can't remember it. Okay, Freaky Fair Isle, that's what it's called. So this part is stitched on perforated paper. It was a black perforated paper, which is pretty, difficult to work with because it's black, and I'm using a dark purple by Diary Works, I think it's called. What is it, Heidi? What's wrong with me? I think Diaries. So that was fun. And so with the only 1 color, and the pattern was pretty simple, and it went pretty quick, the chart on the bats. So then I didn't know what to do with it. They had ideas. I could have just left it alone and put a ribbon on it. But then I saw, oh, I'd like to put it on a moon. So I got this moon at like a, dollar store. And then I painted it yellow to make it more like a spooky moon. And then for the bat, see, I wanted bat stickers, but believe it or not, I couldn't find them anywhere where there was multiple bats. It was grouped in with pumpkins and all this stuff, but I wanted it. So then I said, you know what? I saw cookie cutters with a bat in it. So I said, fine, let me get the cookie cutter. So I had the black paint. So I put black paint on a paper plate, dipped the cookie cutter in it, and then I put it on the moon. Well, guess what? The whole template wasn't going on the moon properly. No matter what I did, it didn't give the whole outline of the bat. So I did what I could with the outline that it did come out, and I free painted it, like freestyle, and not bad. I'm not a great painter. I'm not a great drawer, a drawer. I don't draw well. I could barely draw a stick figure, but it came out all right. I mean, they kind of look like butterflies, but I guess being the bat in the middle, you can get the idea. And that's it. So I think it's pretty cool. With this bat, though, just to tell you, I backed it with black felt, which wasn't easy to do, to try to get it the shape of the bat. That's the hardest part with me with cross stitching, is finishing things. So, and also cutting the perforated perfectly is difficult for me too. I don't want to cut a hole where the thread is in it, so you gotta be careful. So I really was focused on it, and I did a pretty good job with cutting it out. And same thing with the felt. And usually I would pass this kind of thing on to somebody else, help me, SOS, but I did it myself, and I'm proud about that. So that's my my cross stitch item. And I'm happy to say that's it for my finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress. Okay, not a heck of a lot, because you can see I finished 5. I have a cross stitch that's a work in progress. I'm going to show you. I have actually 2. One I'm not going to show you because I didn't give it any love. I have a big mandala afghan, which is at its end, and I don't want to show it until the finished object, and plus so much weaving in. Oh my God, that's going to take me hours and hours to weave in on a mandala afghan. But I'm at the finish line, so I don't want to show that. I have some other things. I made some knitted knockers for the organization called Knitted Knockers. It's for the breast cancer survivors that go through a mastectomy. Instead of getting those heavy prostheses, you can knit them, and it's free to them. And I send it off. So I made some of them. Maybe I'll post a picture of it. I'll see. And that I donated to my yarn shop that is doing it for breast cancer awareness in the month of October. And then she's going to send it off to the Knitted Knockers organization. So I did some of that. And other than that, I can start new things. I don't know what yet. Advent season's coming up. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm only going to show you 2 things. One is a knit and one is cross stitch. Okay, so for my knitted item, and this too is hopefully going to be finished by the time we speak again. I don't know. It's my holiday chalet. I'm sorry, everything is all knotted up with this. I don't know what happened. You put it in the bag neatly. Some fairy in there always messes it up. I know I'm preaching to the choir because I'm sure you guys have the same thing. This is called the Holiday Chalet. It's a stocking that I'm making for my daughter-in-law. That's the back they're both because I have in for a afterthought here. So this is by Ursula Almeida, and the yarn I'm using is from Knit Picks. It's their palette base, and it's pimento is the red, Bear is their bear yarn, undyed yarn is the white, and the the gray is called ash. It's on a size 2. I'm using magic loop, a circular needle, and what else can I tell you about it? I love, love, love her patterns. This is my second one I'm doing. I know it looks complicated, but it's not. Oh my gosh. Her charts are written so well. Um, so well. So what else? I want to show you the first one I made. Some of you have probably seen it, but this is for my son. Hopefully, I don't think he watches this. This is going to be a surprise for them. I'm going to send it before the holidays. Hopefully, they'll use them. If not, it'll be decoration. This is for my son who's a train lover. He works for a train company, and since he has been born, he loves trains. So this is it for him. And now I'm making one for his wife. I can't insult her. So I'm hoping to get this done by the middle of November so I could send it to them before the holidays. And hopefully they'll put it out. If they don't, it's an heirloom, you know, because they might have their own. Yeah, so what else can I tell you about this? Not much, just that I'm following the pattern exactly, and I'm loving it. And check her out. Don't be afraid of this because her patterns are so well written. I've learned a new technique for weaving in ends because I've watched quite a few of them and none of them have I been happy with. Some of them make the yarn thicker on the other side or it comes through. But I watched from Very Pink Knits has one where you can weave in the end as you go along, and that one seems to be working the best so far. It really is. It's almost like catching your floats type technique. I can't explain it, and it's a little awkward the first few stitches, but she says all you need is a few stitches. So check out her technique. It's by Very Pink Knits. Hopefully I will link it down below the tutorial if I remember. I hope I remember when I edit this video because it was worth watching and she gives such great tutorials, and so far it is my favorite one for weaving in the ends, because before that I was trying all these other techniques, wasn't happening. I was like, okay, I'll just do the old-fashioned way and I'll just weave it at the end, and I don't want to always do that. When I'm done, I'm done. I just want to weave in like the cast on tail and that's it. So let's see how I go on with this one. Okay, so that's that one. And the only other one I have is a cross stitch one. This one I got excited about, and I really have no business starting with it because I made my son and his wife one, and this is holiday themed. But I love being a part of the community, so I wanted to do it. I watch Rose Opal Knits with, that's Erica and Daphne, and they have a Discord group, and it's free to all of you. All you have to do is send a message through their, if you watch their podcast, I think there's a link, and you just sign up, and she'll send you the Discord information. So I like it because it's small, it's not crazy, there's not a lot of threads. I really love that Discord. So there's a cross stitch thread. I'm just going to take a sip. So, and that is small, and I like it. It's so personal. So somebody said, hey, they love stitching like funky Santas. And I said, oh, maybe I'll do that. So I did, and I got the chart from my local cross stitch shop, which is called the Cross Stitch Cupboard, and it's this thing called the Wee Santa, and it's a 2023 by Heart and Hand. So it's cute, and I don't know, I'm going to give this away to somebody because I already made one ornament for my household because of Bill, he celebrates, and I made one for my son. So I try to do one a year for both of us, but I'll give this away to somebody that I know could use it, that I have somebody in mind, but I want to be a part of the group. That's why I do it. So this is how far I got on it so far. That looks like the body and the leg of Santa. And this, let me see, I have to check my notes. The floss is DMC floss, so that's easy. You can get it at any big box store. And the linen is a 32 count Heartland, what is it? Heartland something. Excuse me. It's the Heartland Mochas. I don't even know. Why can't I remember? Heartland Hand. That's the name of the linen. And it's a 32 count. So it is hard to see, but all you need is either a magnifying glasses and good lighting, and you're good to go. So Heartland linen. That's what it is. Excuse me. It's Heartland linen. So that's what I started, and I'm excited to do this and be a part of that group. They're doing it where there's like a little bit of a timeline. The first week do this, the first week do that. I don't know if I'm going to do that part of it, and they start on the corner, and I always start my cross stitch in the middle of the piece. That way I know I'm not going to run out on the edges. So that's why I start in the middle. Yeah, so that's my cross stitch, which I'm loving. I love that hobby also. It's a break from doing all my knitting and my crocheting. I have no crochet, but I have been crocheting, but it's on that mandala afghan. So now that we're done with the works in progress, let's move on to acquisitions. Okay, acquisitions, not a lot in that either, which is good because, you keep spending, and then, I don't have a money tree here anywhere. So let's get going. The first one is from my favorite, I don't mean to be partial, one of my favorite, Adore Knit. I just love their stitch markers. So I saw she was having a sale, or I don't know how I got wrapped up in it. It's so easy. I get their emails and whatnot, and the next thing you know, the rabbit hole I go. So anyway, they had one, and I don't have a heck of a lot of Thanksgiving progress keepers or stitch markers. So this is one. It's a set, and I'll take them out in a minute. But this is the progress keeper, the cutest turkey ever. Gobble gobble. It's so cute. So a turkey progress keeper, and then it comes with like a bunch of stitch markers. I'll try to show them as best I could, and a pumpkin stitch marker. Sweet. Okay, and then like these beautiful ones, and I love these. Of course, they look like Thanksgiving colors: the brown, the orange, and even that blue goes in well, and it matches the turkey progress keeper. But I use these stitch markers, especially like with a pattern that has a lot of repeats. These round ones, I like them for when there's a lot of repeats, especially with color work. Like I'm doing this color work with the Holiday Chalet. That one has a lot of repeats on some of the color work. So these round ones are perfect for that. And of course, they bring a smile to my face because they're colorful and pretty. Excuse me. So, and then she threw in, which was so sweet, she was always throwing in something, is these like tags, excuse me, that you could attach to your work. Excuse me. It's very dry here. Okay, the next one I want to show you is my friend. When I went up north, I went up for a very short trip this past weekend, and I got to see my friend Marie, and she knows I love these. And when I moved here to Florida, I had to leave some back, or I couldn't pack them. I didn't know where they were. I have one or two with me, but I still love them so much. And they're called, and she makes them, and she's such a talented woman. They're called orts, or what you can call them are thread catches for any snippets that you cut, whether it's knitting or cross stitching. I use it mainly for cross stitching because all those little threads that you're cutting, there's a lot. And I always keep it close to my work because I'm always snipping with, especially with floss on cross stitching. So this is the one that she made me. And I just love it, love it. And look, the detail, there's a little pair of scissors that she put on there and a button. And then, what does this say here? I can't read without my glasses. Oh, they might be knitting needles. I'm not sure exactly. A little charm there. I can't read it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Marie. Anyway, and she makes these, and they come out so beautiful in all different colors. And I mean, the ones that this looks like a fabric. And you know, she's so resourceful. She used, with this, for some reason, somebody was giving away, you know how you pick out for, I don't know if it's for carpeting or wallpaper, this heavy fabric that they show you samples of. And she has books and books of that. Well, she used those samples where they give you so many pages of different samples. She used that to make this. I love the resourcefulness that she has. And that's what she made this out of. So cool. Somebody gives to, and I love that it didn't cost her to make it. She had it in her stash and she used it. She also made me ones out of wool that she's gotten in other places, like Rhinebeck. I know she bought wool there. And anyway, I love that she's resourceful and she used these from these, I don't know if it was wallpaper samples of like material. Anyway, I forget. So thank you, Marie. I love this. Now that I showed you guys, I could use it for my cross stitch or my knitting. Any kind of scraps go in here. Very useful. So that is it for my acquisitions. Let's move on to life adventures. Okay, since we last spoke, I think it was right around Bill's birthday. So we celebrated with his birthday he's become very involved with fishing. Where I live, there's a bunch of ponds and they have fish in them. They come in from the intercoastal and from the ocean. They end up in our ponds or whatever you want to call them. And he's been fishing and he's been catching. So knowing this, that he's loving this fishing, I said, you know what? He went on a fishing boat years and years ago with his kids and he got very sick, seasick. He couldn't deal with it. So it's been a long time. And then we've gone on little cruises and he didn't get sick. I gave him the idea. I said, you know, for your birthday celebration, I'd like to take you on like a fishing boat. So I said, are you up for it? If not, no big deal. I'm just putting it out there. You know, of course, my treat, I want to take you. And he said, yeah, let's do it. So we go to a place, we looked up online and we called up. And there was a few in this area. And when we get there, there's this big, beautiful boat. That's not the one. Next to it was this and he was like, Bill was like, is that going to make it? Are we going to go on that, you know? But it was a workboat and there was plenty of people that went on there. And so it's a no-frills boat. It's like a real working fishing boat. There, you couldn't even get, like some of these boats, you can get a drink, you can get a snack, chips, nothing. You had to bring your own. So he brought some beer and I brought a drink or two, but I figured at least they would have chips on the boat. Nada, nothing, which was fine. But we went out, boom, boom. First, I caught a fish. I couldn't believe I caught a fish. Then I caught a second one. And then there was one, I couldn't reel it in. And all the fishing rods were for right-handed people. I'm lefty. So I had to do everything with my right hand. And I was like, I can't do it. And they were like, yes, you can. Nobody helped me. Meanwhile, I've gone on other boats where they all helped me bring it in. Nobody helped me. But these guys, they were so helpful with like, if you caught the fish, they were ready to get the fish or out of the water for you, like to net it. And they all baited my fish. if there was a tangle, they were there for that. But as far as reeling in, they were like, you can do it. Nobody helped me with that. So this one I couldn't get it up for the life of me. I can't do it. Then the mate came and he said, oh, it's gone. He said, there's a shark. A shark went after the fish that I had on my rod. So he says, up, and the whole thing was taken apart. He had to restring my rod and everything like that. So then next meet, boom, boom, he caught 2 fish. And then same thing, all of a sudden his rod was bending, pulling it in, and it was fighting him. And the mate came over and he was trying to get it in, and it was a shark on his too. And he pulled it up, and again, everything was off. It had to be strung. But the guy said, feel the line. And he said, see how smooth it is here? Feel over here. It was rough. It was rough. That was the body of the shark that was trying to get the fish that was on Bill's rod. So we both caught 2 fish, but they were good ones. They were big, and they were yellowtail snapper. I never caught anything like that because up in New York, I caught different kind of fish like fluke. But this was yellowtail snapper. And like Bill said, at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we were catching fish. By 5 o'clock at night, we were frying them up. You can't get fresher than that. He loved the whole experience. He didn't get seasick. He loved that he caught fish. He didn't mind the boat because it really was a working boat. And they scaled, the mates all scaled the fish. We came off the boat with fish in a bag already scaled, ready to be cooked up in the frying pan. It was great. He loved it. So when his son comes down in January, I think there's a fishing trip ahead on that one. So that was he loved it. He thanked me. And so now we know he's a real fisherman. So that was that. And then this past weekend, we went up to New York. It was the unveiling of my brother's headstone. He passed away 11 months ago. And I'll be honest with you, to be real, it's been really rough. Losing my sibling was the hardest thing that has ever happened to me. And the unveiling, I was very, for like months, or at least for the last month, I've been very anxious and nervous. I did not want to see it, and it's been hard. It's the hardest thing ever. I still cry every day. I think of him, whatever, and I don't want to put it down on anything, but that's what we did. We went up to the unveiling, and after that, I was a little bit relieved that it was over. My anxiety level went down somewhat, thank goodness. And Bill accompanied me, which was so good. And, and I was glad it's over. So that was this week, and it was just a turnaround. I went up. I didn't want it to be long and lengthy because we have future trips coming up. I went up on a Saturday. The unveiling was Sunday morning, and then we flew back Sunday night. And I'm glad that's over. And I did say, in honor of my brother, a nice speech to honor him, and also visited my mother's site and grandmother's site, who wasn't far away from his. So that, was, had to be done. And I'm glad that is over. And moving on, I don't know if I could ever move fully on from this. But anyway, the loss is painful. And like I said, on Facebook, anyway, we love so hard that it's painful when things like this happen. And that's what it is. It's pain. But anyway, so that's my life adventures of this past couple of weeks with you guys. What I'm watching is playoff baseball. Even though the Yankees went in it, I was rooting for Bill's team, which is the Philadelphia Phillies. That didn't turn out so good. The Diamondbacks won, but then on the other end, on the American League, which the Yankees weren't in it this year, it was against the Astros and the Texas Rangers, two Texas teams. I was not going to root for the Astros at all. No offense to any Astros fans, but you know how the Yankees and the Astros have that little, beef amongst themselves. So I rooted for the Rangers, and they won. So now it's up to the World Series, which is the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Rooting for the Rangers. But anyway, I love just watching the baseball. So I watched that, and I'm trying to think anything else. No, now we don't know what to watch. We have to figure something out. So I'm still watching When Calls the Heart. That's just my show. And that's it. So the book that the book that I just finished, it's called The Watchmaker's Daughter by C.J. Archer. It was just okay. I think I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. It's again about kind of like a mystery. And anyway, it was just okay. I'm trying to think what the book was about because I finished it a week or so ago. It was about the daughter of a watchmaker, and that's what they did back then. I think it was in the early 1900s. I'm not exactly sure. And she was engaged to this man that the father said, when I pass on, if you married my daughter, if you married her, you could own my business, which is my watchmaker's business. Well, guess what? He passed away, and the son-in-law, or the future son-in-law, said, nope, I don't like, he dumped her for some reason or another. I don't even remember why, and left her with nothing, no place to live, no money. So she, of course, is going into, while this was going on, while she was talking to her fiance at the time, somebody came in and they got to know each other, and he took her under the wing. And the story gets involved with that. And this man that took her in was looking for a particular watchmaker and so on. So it was just okay. I read the whole thing, so that's a good thing, because if it's really bad or it doesn't hold my interest at all, I drop it after like 35, 50 pages, because reading is for pleasure. I'm not going to try to stick it out. Why? It's my life. It should bring me joy. And I don't have to persevere on a book. A book is supposed to be for pleasure. And why? And that's my free time, and my time is valuable. Goodbye, book. So this one held me to the end, so that's okay. And how it ended was just okay. So 3 stars. But now I'm listening to a book because I like to listen on my way to work. I like to listen when I do chores, errands around. And lately I've been listening, other than watching podcasts, I'll be listening to a book. So this one is the Matthew Perry book, and I forget the name of it. Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. I think that's the name of it. It is so good. It's holding my interest. He's kind of funny, and he's real. He's real about his life, and boy, what he has been through. I'd say I'm like 3/4 done with the book, but I'm like excited to listen to it. So, wow, I didn't know his life was such in turmoil until I read this. I mean, you heard about it in the gossip columns or whatever years ago when things were going on with him. But this is his words speaking it, so now you know the truth. Anyway, check it out. I got it through Libby. It was free, and I'm loving it. Like, I can't wait to listen to it later while I'm doing, and even while I'm knitting. Normally I watch one of your podcasts, any, knitting or crochet podcasts or cross stitching, but I've been listening to this book too, so I'm intertwining them. So that is the books and no movies really that I've been watching or reading. So I am going to end it here. I don't think I have anything else to say except I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I wish you peace and love in your life, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.